Hey everybody, and this is the first lesson in the Python language series. In this video we will focus on such an important aspect in the language and especially in the Python language. This is the style of code. I think most programmers sometimes or perhaps always write bad code. In the current context, we can see the bad code from the viewpoint of design and style. It's possible because they are in a hurry to create something, or they don't know the recipe standard yet, or maybe that they have been taught this way at college, university, because many schools teach programming in one template in several languages. Okay. In general, there is a bad code and we won't get away from it. And in this video we'll consider an example and how you can fix it as in manual, semi-automatic and even in fully automatic mode. Now we are launching PyCharm, as you can see, and uploading a project with a file. By default, PyCharm has a small built-in helper that highlights the wrong syntax, but it does not highlight all possible errors. So let's go over the code. In the top line we see the terms of reference that says we should write a function that checks the structure of input array and calculates the amount. Alright, and if we try to run it. Okay, if we try to run it, yes, it even works. But we can say that the beauty of the code is far from Python standards. And now we are going to try to improve it. Let's go in order of lines. First line. We see the description of the task. It's written with syntax for comments. However, the following is not the case. When we write a description of the module operation or description of the function operation, we have to use another type of comment, so call it docstring. Yes, we are doing it. Pep 8 requires an indent of 2 empty lines before starting the code. Third, the function name must reflect the meaning of the function without looking inside, and its name be written in lowercase with an understroke between the words. So let's rename maybe some salary. And we are going to change everything below where we can use it. Okay, and the input variable must have a good name, maybe like salary list, because it's a list. And we are going to change everywhere. Okay. Next, in fifth line, we see a validate dict comment. Something is missing and it's a standard space. In next line, we see the author's attempt to level the playing field. But unfortunately, this is not the way it should be in the Python. Just we delete it. And just as we see, the I variable is not used because it's reinitialized in the loop. So this value 0 is gonna be unnecessary here. Delete. Okay. Then there is a loop through all elements of the list using the range and len function. It's possible to do so in which languages, the only way to do so. But the Python also has more convenient built-in variant of working with lists. Okay, correcting. Delete. Delete and name. And in this place. Okay. As we can see, the amount of code is reduced, which means it's more readable and therefore less possible errors. Okay. Further, we see that the loop's internal code is written with an offset of 8 spaces. But by Python standards, you need 4. Correction. Next, we see in line 14 that we use double quotes when searching the dictionary key, but the rest of the code has a single quote. It is considered a good tone to write either a double or a single one everywhere. Replacing. And we have to correct incorrect type comparison is instance, yes, is instance salary int, more correct. Okay. If not, yes. And delete external line number, and I think we have to make operator sum overload. It's more pretty. And correct the use of name for sum, more unique, maybe sum report. Okay, we have to correct provision of test data in more readable form. Such way. Okay, and make a variable more meaningful. Result. Okay. And in fact, our validation inside loop also violates the dry principle. It means do not repeat yourself, and looks pretty bad because it does not return validation errors. I think we'll continue to work with this in the next video. Okay, next step, I'll show you how to not keep it in your head for the first time. In Python environment, there are so-called linters that can check your code and tell you what to change and where to change and why. We delete all our good code and come back to old bad code. Okay, and install PyLinter. Go to terminal, pip install PyLint. Okay, and run it by PyLint import user current py. Okay, as you can see, our mark for our code is -2, and there are he wrote us most of the mistakes we made. Okay. If you check it all, your code will marked as 10 per 10. Okay. There was also the possibility of launching another linter like black. It's automatic linter, and if we run black, report is recurrent file. Okay, one file reformatted, and we can see our code more pretty, especially dictionary and some other code, as you can see. Okay, that's all for first lesson. In this video we have learned a little bit about parsing fully written code, and this skill will increase your value as a programmer, because first of all, when you come to a new company, maybe as a junior, maybe as a middle, you can quickly find out what the code is, so-called legacies. And when you have already worked for this company for a while, or maybe you are senior and started to participate in the review, you can suggest ways to correct it. And however, I will notice the main idea: do not be toxic to beginners and coworkers, because the main relationship between people, the company today is there, and tomorrow it is not, it is some accepted fiction. And the relationship with a person, making him back comments, can be thoroughly spoiled. Be a sea of light, and see you in the next lesson.